the crow, the cheese, and the clever fox. Once upon a time, in a quiet forest, there was a very proud crow named Carl. Carl had just found the biggest, yummiest piece of cheese he had ever seen. It was so big that it barely fit in his beak. Carl flew up to his favorite branch, high in the trees, where he could eat his cheese in peace and admire the view. Now, in that very same forest lived a fox named Fiona. Fiona was smart, really smart, and she also had a weakness for cheese. The moment she saw Carl with his giant hunk of cheese, her belly rumbled like thunder. That cheese should be mine, she thought. Fiona trotted over to the base of Carl's tree and called up, well, if it isn't the most magnificent bird in the whole forest. Carl, you look amazing today. Have you been using a new feather shampoo? Carl puffed up his feathers with pride, but he kept his beak clamped down tight on the cheese. He wasn't about to fall for that trick. Fiona continued, I bet with your strong wings, you could win any flying contest. And that voice of yours? It's legendary. The birds talk about your singing all the time. If only I could hear just one note, I'd be the luckiest fox in the world. Now, Carl loved compliments. He especially loved when people talked about his singing. He knew he was a great singer. But how could he sing with a beak full of cheese? Fiona, seeing his dilemma, put on her best innocent face. Oh, Carl, please, just one little note. You can hold the cheese while you sing, can't you? You're so talented, I'm sure you can do it. Carl, his chest puffed out, thought to himself, of course I can sing with the cheese in my beak. I am a great singer, after all. He took a deep breath and, squawk. The cheese fell out of Carl's beak and tumbled down, down, down. Right into Fiona's waiting paws. Fiona grinned, wagged her tail, and said, well, that was a beautiful performance, Carl. But now, if you don't mind, I think I'll enjoy this cheese. Before Carl could even squawk again, Fiona trotted off, munching happily on the cheese. Carl sat there on his branch, his beak still open in shock. He had been outfoxed. But as Fiona disappeared into the forest, Carl had to chuckle. Well, he muttered to himself, I guess I do sound pretty good when I'm not holding cheese in my mouth. And from that day on, Carl practiced his singing, but only after he'd eaten his cheese first. The end.